Karen stood in my driveway screaming that I'd regret saying no. She said she'd make one phone call and have me removed from my own property. Her husband filmed. Her kids watched. What she didn't know: the badge in my pocket had my name on it. And I was already recording. Karen stood in my driveway screaming that I'd regret saying no. She said she'd make one phone call and have me removed from my own property. Her husband was filming like he expected a viral moment. Her kids stood behind her, wide-eyed. What she didn't know was that the badge in my pocket had my name on it. And I was already recording. I'd bought the house 3 months earlier. Quiet street. Trimmed hedges. Flags on porches. The kind of neighborhood where people wave but don't slow down. I liked it that way. After 12 years on the force, quiet wasn't boring. Quiet was earned. The house had been vacant for almost a year before I moved in. Big place for one person, sure. 4 bedrooms. Finished basement. Detached garage. I didn't buy it to impress anyone. I bought it because it was within my budget and far enough from downtown that I could sleep without sirens bleeding through the walls. Karen introduced herself the second day I was unpacking. She walked across the street like she owned the pavement. Blonde bob, sharp sunglasses, phone in hand. "Hi there," she said, scanning the moving truck. "You moving in alone?" It wasn't the question. It was how fast she asked it. "Yeah," I said. "Just me." She tilted her head toward the house. "That's a lot of space for just you." I've interviewed suspects with softer openings. Over the next week she kept appearing. Casual. Curious. Asking about the basement. Asking if I planned to rent rooms. Asking if family visited often. Then one evening she stopped pretending. She walked over with her husband trailing behind her and a stack of papers tucked under her arm. "We wanted to talk to you about something important," she said, voice rehearsed. Her sister's family was going through a tough time. Job loss. Eviction. 2 kids. Nowhere to go. Karen explained it like she was presenting a neighborhood initiative. "You have the space," she said. "We have the need. It would only be temporary." Her husband nodded solemnly. I kept my voice steady. "I'm not interested in renting or housing anyone." "It wouldn't be renting," she said quickly. "It would be helping." I repeated myself. "No." Her mouth tightened. "So you'd let kids be homeless?" "That's the move." Frame refusal as cruelty. "I'm not responsible for housing strangers," I said. "There are shelters, programs." She cut me off. "We take care of our own in this neighborhood. I'm not part of that arrangement." That's when her tone shifted. Not loud. Not yet. Just cold. "We'll remember this," she said. 2 days later, an anonymous post appeared in the neighborhood Facebook group. Sad when new homeowners refuse to help families in crisis despite having plenty of empty rooms. Comments piled up. Sympathy. Judgment. Speculation. Someone claimed I was secretly renting rooms under the table. Someone else said they'd seen suspicious cars. I don't use Facebook much. But I saw it. Then the stares started. A note appeared in my mailbox: "Shame on you." Her husband began parking slightly over the line of my driveway. Not blocking it completely. Just enough to irritate. The kids cut across my lawn, bikes skidding through the grass. I installed visible security cameras. Karen laughed when she noticed them. Paranoid much, she called across the street. I didn't respond. I just kept documenting. The next confrontation came on a Saturday afternoon. She marched up my driveway like she'd been building momentum all week. "I know people at the department," she said. That caught my attention. "Oh?" I asked. "If you're running illegal rentals, inspections can happen fast," she continued. "Very fast. It would be embarrassing if you were forced out." Her husband was filming again. I'm not running rentals, I said. Well, we'll see what code enforcement says. She stepped closer. Too close. Finger jabbing toward my chest. You don't know who you're messing with. I pulled out my phone and made sure it was clearly recording. Can you repeat that? I asked calmly. Her chin lifted. I said I can have you removed. By who? People downtown. Which people? She hesitated for half a second. Then doubled down. Don't test me. That was enough. I reached into my back pocket and pulled out my wallet. I flipped it open and held it steady. Her eyes locked onto the badge first. Then the department ID beneath it. Full name. Precinct. Photo. The silence was immediate. Her husband's phone lowered slightly. I work downtown, I said evenly. 12 years. Karen blinked. Why didn't you say that before? Because I don't owe you an explanation to live in my own house. Her face shifted from anger to calculation. You've been harassing me, I continued. False public accusations. Driveway obstruction. Threats of false reporting. All documented. Her husband looked at her. You threatened to use city resources for personal leverage, I said. That's recorded too. She tried to pivot. We were just trying to help family. By demanding keys to my house? She had no answer. Here's what's going to happen, I said. You're going to stop contacting me. You're going to stop obstructing my driveway. And you're going to delete the post. Her mouth opened. Or, I continued, we can handle it formally. We held eye contact for a long 5 seconds. She turned first. The Facebook post disappeared that night. The driveway obstruction stopped. But I didn't let it slide. I filed a formal harassment report. Not as revenge. As documentation. I attached the videos. The screenshots. The note from my mailbox. A patrol unit issued a citation for the driveway blocking, documented from my footage. The HOA received copies after I submitted a complaint about targeted harassment. Suddenly Karen wasn't loud anymore. She was quiet. Neighbors who had commented online stopped making eye contact. One older man from 2 houses down knocked on my door one evening. Didn't know the whole story, he said. Sorry. I nodded. No problem. Karen hasn't stepped foot on my driveway since. Her husband doesn't film anymore. The kids don't cut across my lawn. And every now and then, when I'm mowing the grass, I catch her glancing over, trying to measure whether I'm watching. I usually am. Helping someone is a choice. Demanding someone's home isn't charity. It's entitlement dressed up as virtue. And entitlement gets very quiet the moment it realizes it picked the wrong house.